Okay, I got an update. So, yeah, make sure the mic is on. I put the OSBOT back because Ecamm was crashing. I deleted some scenes, brought them back. It's still kind of messed up, but here's the Z6 III, the ZF, now the OSBOT 2 Lite. Now, look at the coloring. And this is for Sly. I think I figured out what to do. Okay. So, like Mr. Camera Junkie said, you download the OBSBOT Center for the computer, either a laptop, whatever, not for the iPad. You got to get it for the desktop. Once you get that, and I even think the desktop's for the laptop. So if they're talking about mobile, I'm thinking the cell phone and maybe the iPad because they have the iOS. Okay. When you're dealing with the Mac OS, it's either the laptop, like the MacBook Air or whatever, or a desktop. So iOS for the phone and tablet, Mac OS for the laptop and the desktop. This is the OSBOT 4. I'm going to go to options, live demo mode. So now you see the whole setup. I got my OSBOT Center up. I only have one camera. Okay. And I got it right here left to my Apple Studio display. It automatically looks at the coloring. So what I did was on the console, I put it just on standard. Okay. No zone tracking, nothing. Okay. So I can move around. It's not going to follow me. That's what you got to do. No hand tracking. I already set my preset. So this is preset 1. If I go to preset 2, I'm sitting down in the chair. And then I set my preset 3 for my overhead shot. And if you'll notice that it says OSBOT Tiny 2 Lite, okay? And then on my Ecamm Live program, it's showing me what I'm looking at. So those are the presets. I got it on fine, not coarse. That's it. Now, if you just go to the image, this is what I did. Okay. I turned off the HDR. The focus mode I left on, face for the autofocus mode, the exposure, auto exposure, face, compensation I left alone, anti flicker I did alone, but where you get the color of what you want, you take off the auto white balance and you put on a temperature. So I'm at 33K. Okay. Uh, and then you leave everything else alone. So if I go back here to my console and go to preset 1, you see that? That looks pretty good. If I get closer, and you see the auto exposure changes. So sometimes you have to move. So it's getting brighter now. But if you move closer, it might get darker. See? So it's auto exposing. That's what you have to deal with. You get the right skin tone that you want. So just to show you, I'm going back to the image and I'm going to go to the temperature, which is at 33K. So if I go down, watch what happens. Is this a lot better? Less pink. I'm at 3000K. I think this can go down to 2000K. All right. So it's up to you. I'll leave it at mm, what do you think? 32, 33. See, I become more orange. So if I put it down to 31, 3000K is okay. But then you go into the settings. So this is what I did. If you reset the settings, it's looking pretty good. All I did was do the temperature, and you see my shirt, it's matching. Uh, right now, well, maybe it is matching. So just leave the eCam colors on. That looks pretty good. So if I go back to the 3000K, see, I've become a little bit cooler. All right. And that's what you just adjust. That's what I recommend. So get the desktop, and you see, you go higher, you get more orange. You can color correct it, but you want it out of the camera first where you like it. And I might go to 28, 29. See, I'm too orange right there at 3000. But then if I go to my Z63, it's kind of matching, right? ZF, well, you really can't tell. But the OBSBOT, if you look at the OBSBOT and an Nikon Z63, they kind of match the skin. Well, there's a little bit more orange, so let's work on that. Maybe like this. And then what I do is you either do the temperature, make you look more like human. And then if you go back here, but you just have to experiment. Mirrorless camera, webcam. What am I going to use it for? Well, for interviews, um, if I have a guest or whatever, I can do this. And I'll go back to the console. We'll just leave the colors alone. I just wanted to show you. So my guest is right here. And then I can add a window with me with the Z63. So I'm interviewing the person here, and I'll have a different mic for him to speak with. And then we can both use, like I do on the Studio 64, two mics at the same time. One for the product review table, one for the guest. So I'll go back to preset one. I'm back here. And, it's kind of yellow, but then if you look at the Z63, it kind of matches. So if I turn like that, so I see I could go on the image. And then what I do is I'll go in the gamma to kind of match it. So I can put that at 10. And then you can do the same thing with the temperature. If you don't like it, see, get it just right the way you want it. You can bring up the brightness a little bit. The tint is up to you. You can make it more like a real person or, you know, reddish tint. I'll put it at 0. And then the same thing with the saturation. You can go like that. I'm orange again. Right, or I'm bland. So I want to get it just right where you get a little color in there, but not too much. That's what you do. 0, and I think that's 5. I'll leave it there. It's just trying to show you what you can do with the colors. You just have to play with it. So that's what he did. If I did the auto temperature, look what happens. See, I'm yellow. And then you have to mess with color. This way, I look like a human being. Um, I might bring that back because I'm not that yellow. I'm gonna bring it back to 0. And that looks better. It's kind of tan, kind of white, kind of beige, whatever. And on the tint, you can make it a little pink, but I'll leave that at 0 also. So the thing is, you want to deal with less color. So that might be a little bit too dark, but then you just brighten it up a little bit. And see, I'm looking pretty good with the webcam. What do you think? In fact, I'm thinking I'm looking a lot better than this right here. So I might be a little bit too dark. So I could just go just like that. So it's just your preference. Okay. Do what you got to do. Um, so just to recap, on the console, get the Mac OS version, not the iOS, but the Mac OS for laptop, desktop. And you just click on standard only, no hand tracking or anything like that. You set your presets, and then you can move each preset, here, there, whatever. Okay. And I like doing the live demo better than the on the interview mode. Then I would put picture in the picture where I'm facing the person asking questions, and then the person that's sitting down comfortably will answer me back. So I'll be using that camera, this camera, and it's better than using a backward camera because then you can't see behind me where the chair is. It's just a different perspective of what to do. But I hope this was helpful. Um, you just learn by trial and error, and then you just figure things out. Um, the update, my system has crashed, a little bit, especially when I do it on the opening. That's good because nothing is moving. Same thing with the closing. That's fine. It's just uh, uh, one picture. But then when I put it on one of your cameras, and then when you end the program, you go to closing, you see this, and then you can take care of that by just going to her. And what I do is, now see, this is where it's crashing. Now, if I click on it, then you say, "Thank you for watching. Stay safe and keep smiling." Bye, folks. Have a wonderful day.